So viewability is a huge area of focus, and it's been a huge area of investment for Google. Google feels very strongly that customers shouldn't pay for non-viewable impressions, especially given the technology is there finally to measure that. So last year we actually launched our own viewability solution for display, and this year actually at CES we made a large announcement around viewability for video, which has been a huge request from our customers. So the exciting news is that we now have viewability solutions across our double-click advertising solutions, from the ad server to the programmatic solution, and then also viewability measurement for YouTube, reservation bias, which, as you can imagine, is very exciting for a lot of our advertisers.
So what's the biggest ask that you're getting from advertisers specifically around viewability? I mean, do they fully understand it? How much of it is education and how much of it is just technology that wasn't there or that is now there?
I think every advertiser understands viewability and has for a long time. I think the challenge is around education. There is, as you can imagine, for an advertiser, they believe that they should have always been paying just for the viewable impression, and so a lot of advertisers want to be able to jump to that immediately and demanding or asking for 100% viewability. I think we'll eventually get there, and I think Google and a lot of companies believe that viewability should be currency. That is a given. I think we're in that transitionary period right now, and publishers are on board, but I think that transition will take some time. So I think there's a bit of education just in terms of setting expectations and having the eye on the prize, which is the future of where we can get to 100% viewability, but also understanding that there's some limitations today as well as potential scale loss if you do that.
And are those limitations based solely in technology, or is some of it the business logic that's being dragged into it and then that conversation with agencies?
I think, the technology is there and getting better. So technically, if an advertiser wanted to really push for 100% viewability, you can get fairly close. The question is, at what price of inventory does that make sense? How much inventory is there really at that point? Google put out a recent viewability infographic where about a little over 50% of the inventory that Google sees holistically across all of our publishers is viewable. And so, what does that mean for the economics of our industry if we suddenly just said, that's it? So I think the technology is there. I think a lot of it's more on the business side of making sure we do it responsibly.
And at what point do you think that 100% viewability, I mean, is that a 2015 thing, or are we far away from that?
I think there's been several big players who've made that statement, and I think it's possible in 2015. A lot of what Google's doing, because we have the benefit of working both with publishers and advertisers, is partnering closely with our publishers to help them get as close to that goal as possible. I think publishers understand the need for it, and they just need some time to make sure that their content follows. Yeah. I would be bullish on 2015.